the correct perspective. And ever since January, when I came in as president, his term came up for renewal as the honorary chairman, which we had a board meeting, and then we decided not to renew his term as the honorary chairman of the FMSCI. That was the first step. So he no longer exists as the honorary chairman of the Federation of Motorsports Clubs. Now, as far as the World Motorsport Council is concerned, what needs to be understood is he was nominated from the Federation 4 years back as a delegate from the FMSCI to the FIA, which is called the World Motorsport Council. In the World Motorsport Council elections, he got elected, and therefore he became an FIA board member, and the term of that tenure is for 4 years, which ends in October this year. Now, he is not a board member of the FMSCI, but he is a board member of the FIA when he got elected 4 years back. The term ends in September, first week October 2017.
Your point
so
taken,
he
Mr.
doesn't
Ibrahim.
represent
Your point
the
taken.
FMSCI.
Your point taken. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but the fact of the matter is, Mr. Ibrahim, isn't there some way that at least has the FMSCI tried to seek a way to get Vijay Mallya to step down from that position? Because you know what the charges are pending against him. I mean, every Indian knows exactly what's gone on over the last few years with Vijay Mallya, with the multiple cases in courts, and therefore the people of this country have a right to ask who represents them at this world body.
Without a doubt, this has also been discussed in our board meeting. We have also interacted and spoken to the FIA. The FIA statute basically is a 4-year term, and in the process, in the middle of that statute, if somebody passes away or somebody, gets taken behind, then that particular representation ceases to exist. So we have informed them that this situation is quite grave as far as India is concerned, and the fact is that can we nominate or continue our representation in the world body through someone else, either myself as a president or any other nominated person, is the point that we are discussing with the FIA. The current statute basically is that if anybody is withdrawn in between the term, then the representation ceases to exist. That is an FIA statute. As far as we are concerned, he has not been nominated.
But wouldn't that be better, Mr. Ibrahim? Wouldn't that be better than the current situation where you have a man who India, the government is after? He's currently facing extradition process in the UK. Isn't it a fair question to ask that there should be another way of tackling this, even if that means that India goes unrepresented for the moment, for the next few months? That's fine. It's an okay price to pay.
No, that is the process that we are following now. I definitely, it's a very valid question. And if at the end of the day, if there's no way out where we can continue our representation there, and if we have to surrender it, then it will be done. I mean, it is a board decision that has been taken, but it has been presented, and the board is aware of it. So we are basically trying to get a final answer from the FIA if we can have our representation continued, if we go ahead and withdraw the nomination of the delegate that we did 4 years back, and if that is not possible, then we do withdraw it, and then if we don't have a representation for the next few months, we will not have it. But I just want total clarity from the FIA so that whatever decision we take here is basically because we are taking a decision on Indian motorsport, and we will do it. So we don't see any reason why we should not do it.
Well, absolutely, Mr. Ibrahim. Appreciate that very importantly, Amitabh, what Mr. Ibrahim is saying there, that there is going to be some process of trying to fix the situation to ensure that Vijay Mallya does not continue to represent India at the world body. That's the big breaking news.
It's been clear. Amitabh, it's always been clear. It took times now to expose it conclusively. We showed you documents with names, details of individuals receiving money from the ISI, names of individuals within the Hurriyat office for miscellaneous expenses, for the running of the offices, for distribution to stone pelters, for distribution to terrorists and their families. This was the ultimate confirmation, and I am not surprised that today the NIA, India's topmost anti-terror body, investigative body, has decided to probe this entire issue. It was completely a step that was unavoidable simply because all these details to the last rupee were fleshed out in our investigation of May 6th. I remember coming here being surprised by the precise details and the amounts that were given to these individuals, who some individuals in this country, and I want to make it very clear, Amita, regard as true stakeholders of peace, the ambassadors of terror, The envoys of Pakistan in this country by a lobby of individuals are referred to as the stakeholders of peace, and that's really what was shocking. Those are the numbers. Peer Abdul Rashid, an individual who has had the temerity to send us a legal notice. Individuals who do not subscribe to the Constitution of India, when they want restitution, they will then invoke the laws of this land. That is the duplicity of the Hurriyat Conference. These are the kind of individuals who have brought a complete dishonesty to the entire narrative in Jammu and Kashmir. These individuals should be sent to Pakistan. We have been saying this from day one here on Times Now. These individuals, these splittists, these separatists, these individuals who are paid to pelt stones at the idea of India should be sent immediately to Pakistan. And this is vindication of our journalism. I want to bring in Colonel RSN and General G.D. Bakshi on this. Colonel RSN, this is the ultimate vindication of Times Now's exclusive investigation, where we revealed details to the Ras rupee that were paid to individuals in the Hurriyat office.
And readiness that's there as far as our Jawans are concerned when it comes to giving a befitting reply to Pakistan. Remember, this is Defence Minister Arun Jaitley's first visit to Srinagar ever since he took charge of Defence Ministry as well. When he arrived in Srinagar, he met the Army Chief, took stock of the security situation. He was also briefed about the kind of preparation that's in place right now, the state of preparedness that's there right now. And after that, in just 48 hours, this is the second important visit that was made by Defence Minister Arun Jaitley to the border post areas. It is extremely significant, and also we are given to understand that, the way situation has been deteriorating over the last couple of months in the valley, this kind of a visit is definitely going to help the morale of the forces, and it also shows how serious the government is really as far as bringing normalcy back in the valley.
Well, absolutely. And Hina, also the message that's being sent out by the Defence Minister very clearly there out to Pakistan about any misadventure, but also showing faith in the forces and, saying that they will do the right thing and they're prepared to tackle any sort of situation.
Well, that's right. And in fact, he was apprised about various measures to strengthen the counter-infiltration grid along the line of control where Pakistani forces have been indulging in shelling and attacks as well. He was also told about the situation that is currently there on the ground, and this personal visit of the Defence Minister Arun Jaitley to the border post clearly indicates that how he wanted to himself take stock of the situation on the ground and also encourage the forces as well. Since there have been several attacks in the last couple of months, and on the other hand, the situation in the valley is also deteriorating on a daily basis. The government here, Mehbooba Mufti government here, is of course banking on centre to take some strong steps at this point in time to ensure that normalcy returns back into the valley. Yesterday morning, in fact, the Finance Minister and Defence Minister Arun Jaitley also held a meeting with J&K Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti. Of course, this GST meeting that is taking place in Srinagar as well is also important and significant because, through this also, the government centre is trying to send a strong message to the world, to the country, that how important Kashmir is really. And remember, having this GST Council meeting here in Srinagar is very significant as well. And through this also, a political message is being sent to the country.
Enforcement Directorate has registered a case under PMLA. Earlier on, the case was registered under FEMA, FEMA. And the FIR on which the raid took place was the CBI FIR. So with the ED now registering a case under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, it becomes a criminal case where cognizable offences have been committed. So his arrest would have been imminent. And yesterday when I tweeted, I was told by sources in Madras that he had told people to be back in 4 days. And then late last night they said 1 week. Now you are saying it's 3 weeks. I think he would find it very difficult to come back because his arrest and prosecution and conviction are almost certain.
Well, like every other Indian who's welcoming this ICJ verdict, so did cricketers Mohammad Kaif and Virender Sehwag. But then there were some Pakistani trolls who lashed out at them. And let's go across to Anand, who will tell us what was the kind of cheeky response given by these cricketers, Anand.
Well, it was not, we should say tongue-in-cheek, and I think well done, because Sehwag sees the ball, hits the ball, so he saw the opportunity and hit them out of the park yet again. That's what Virender Sehwag did. He first said Satyamev Jayate with the hashtag Kulbhushan Jadhav, and there is this Twitter handle, somebody called Farhan Zahur, who said, you guys have less brains, the final decision is yet to come, and even though ICJ stays whatever, we will hang him. Go wherever you can. And Virender Sehwag says, in your dreams, just like beating India in a World Cup. And then he says, Kutta palo, billi palo, lekin galat fahmi mat palo. So that's the response that he has given, and very aptly so. Mohammad Kaif, on the other hand, now this is those voices the Islamist voices that come to the fore with Mohammad Kaif's tweet. Mohammad Kaif says, congratulations India. Thanks to the International Court of Justice, justice has prevailed. Kulbhushan Jadhav is the hashtag that he uses. And there is a person called Amir Akram who says, please remove Mohammad from your name first. So Mohammad Kaif says, wow, if I support India's victory, I should remove Mohammad. I am proud of my name. Amir means full of life. You need to get one.
Trinamool Congress MP Sudip Bandyopadhyay has been granted bail by the Bhubaneswar High Court now on a surety of 50 lakh rupees. Remember, Sudip Bandyopadhyay, a close aide of Mamata Banerjee, who was in fact sent to custody, has now been granted bail by the Bhubaneswar High Court on a surety of 50 lakh rupees. That's the details that we're getting now. Tamal joining me on the phone line. Tamal, share with us what further details you have.
Well, that's right. Sudip Bandyopadhyay, Trinamool Congress Lok Sabha MP, leader of the party in the Lok Sabha, who was arrested on 3rd of January 2017 for being allegedly complicit in the Rose Valley Chit Fund scam by CBI, has finally been granted bail by the High Court in Orissa. This had been a long fight in the High Court where CBI had strongly opposed the bail petition. Even in the lower court, CBI had opposed the bail petition, citing that he is an influential person, and also questioned whether he is actually ill or not, something which has been cited by Sudip Bandyopadhyay's counsel. But today, finally, the High Court has approved conditional bail on grounds of health. So citing, considering his health condition, he has been granted bail. But then he has to submit a surety of 50 lakh rupees in 2 checks of 25 lakhs each, and also 50,000 bond or 2 separate other bonds. His passport has to be submitted to the court, and he has to appear before the CBI as and when required for the sake of investigation. But we have been given to understand that CBI today once again had vociferously opposed the bail and had questioned as whether he is actually ill or not, and also cited once again that he continues to be a Trinamool Congress MP. The fact that his arrest had called for such public furor, and especially from Trinamool Congress workers, goes on to prove that he is a person. So yes, we have been given to understand that CBI is likely to move to Supreme Court against this bail order by the High Court in Orissa.
That's right. Karti Chidambaram's sudden visit to London has created a lot of flutter. Since morning, there has been rumors saying that he has left India along with one of his key business partner. And now we have got confirmation from multiple sources, not only from the airport authorities, but also from the police department and also from the Congress party, that Karti Chidambaram has gone to London along with his friend CBN Reddy. Both Karti Chidambaram and CBN Reddy were raided by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and CBN Reddy was particularly questioned by the Central Bureau of Investigation for the whole day, and some kind of statement was recorded to them. And according to sources close to Karti Chidambaram, what they say is that this was a planned visit. In fact, this was scheduled 10 days ago, and the ticket was booked 10 days ago. And at this juncture, they cannot postpone this visit, and that's why he has gone to London. He took the first early morning flight, and he has reached there, is what sources are close to Karti Chidambaram are telling us. But this visit to London comes in the backdrop of the recent CBI raids at several places, including Karti Chidambaram's residence and people who are close to Karti Chidambaram, his business associates, his business partners, and his suspected binamis. So everyone came under the CBI scanner. So at this juncture, Karti Chidambaram traveling to London has raised many questions, because there is also a speculation in the media that Karti Chidambaram might be interrogated again by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Summons will be issued asking him to appear before the CBI officials in Delhi. And also at the same point of time, CBI is also
planning to issue summons to his close business associates and various others who are linked with Karti Chidambaram. So at this point in time, there seems to be some kind of, this news has created quite a flutter in Tamil Nadu's political circles. But sources close to Karti Chidambaram say that this was a planned visit.
Thank you, Shabir, for bringing us up to speed with that particular development. It looks like a planned visit is what Shabir says, but also questions will be asked due to the proximity of his visit to London in the backdrop of the CBI raids. A dilapidated bridge collapsed in South Goa, plunging close to 50 people into the sea. The collapse happened in Savardam Churcham, where an old linking dilapidated bridge collapsed. 35 people, we understand, have been rescued and shifted to hospital, while one body has been recovered. Times Now spoke to the Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar, who told us the Navy divers have been called in for the rescue operation. Herman now joining me over the phone. Herman, a massive tragedy there unfolding in South Goa. Can you take us through what transpired there?
Well, Sachin, first of all, to begin with, there was a suicide that was reported at that very spot, and the Goa police had arrived there to ensure that the situation is taken under control. But during that entire process, there were close to around 50 people, that is the ballpark figure, which were given to understand, had decided to get onto this bridge so that they could witness the rescue operations of this suicide being done. But that is when the bridge gave way, and all close to around 50 people lost their balance. At this point in time, we are told that 35 people have been rescued, while there has been one casualty that has come in. Rescue operations at this point in time will continue. We do not know as to how many more people could be missing.
Now, Herman, we understand that one body has been recovered, 35 people have been rescued. Are the rescue operations still underway, or have... In fact, I have Manohar Parrikar, the Goa Chief Minister, with me over the phone. Mr. Parrikar, thank you for speaking to Times Now. Can you give us more details on the rescue operations that are currently underway?
The rescue operation, we have already pulled out 35 people, rather they have been rescued. Only 2 of them have been admitted to the hospital, rest have been allowed to go home with minor injuries. And one body has been found. As of now, there is no direct missing report from the neighborhood. But the search and rescue operation is on. Naval divers have reached the spot.
Mr. Parrikar, there are also big questions being raised about the kind of condition the bridge was under. There are also questions being raised that the government was...
The bridge was closed long back, 10 years back. There were some water pipe which was going on it. It was not for commuters. What had happened was someone jumped into the river to commit suicide. The fire brigade had reached the spot and they were trying to search for the one who attempted suicide. These people rushed on this bridge which was closed and not in use or operation, and they all had crowded at one spot. So it's not that the bridge was a functional bridge.
Mr. Parrikar, we also understand the Navy has been pressed into the service apart from the local security agencies?
Yes, naval divers have been pressed into service. According to my information, there is no one missing. But we fear that few migrants might have, those who don't have local houses, they might be trapped. So they're trying to check.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Parrikar, for speaking to Times Now and sharing those details with us. The Chief Minister of Goa, Mr. Manohar Parrikar, that's speaking to Times Now, clarifying that the bridge was closed, but unfortunately a tragic event there, as one particular person tried to commit suicide and others rushed to the bridge, resulting in the collapse of the bridge.
Rajinikanth எனக்கு இப்போ 67 வயசு ஆகுது. 23 ஆண்டு தான் நான் கர்நாடகத்தில் இருந்தேன். 44 ஆண்டுகள் உங்க கூடவே வளர்ந்த கர்நாடகத்திலிருந்து ஒரு மராட்டியானோ ஒரு கன்னடக்காரனோ நான் இங்கே வந்திருந்தா கூட நீங்க என்னை ஆதரிச்சு அன்பு கொடுத்து பேரும் பகலும் பணம் எல்லாத்தையும் அள்ளி கொடுத்து என்னை நீங்க தான் தமிழனே ஆக்கிட்டீங்க. சோ நான் பச்சை தமிழன். எங்க மூதாரு எங்க அப்பா எல்லாம் ராஜகுப்பம் கிருஷ்ணகிரியில் பிறந்து ஆல்ரெடி சொல்லியிருக்கேன். நீங்க என்னை எங்கேயாவது போ, இங்கிருந்து வெளியே போ அப்படின்னு சொன்னா தூக்கி போட்டா நான் இமயமலையில போய் தான் விடுவேன், தவிர வேற எந்த மாநிலத்தில் போய் விட மாட்டேன். அவருடைய சில கருத்துக்களை கேட்டு பிரமிச்சு போயிருக்கேன். அந்த மாதிரி இருக்காங்க தேசிய கட்சிகள் எல்லாம் இருக்காங்க. பட் சிஸ்டம் கெட்டு போயிருக்கு. சிஸ்டம் கெட்டு போயிருக்கு, ஜனநாயகமே கெட்டு போயிருக்கு. அரசியல் பத்தி, ஜனநாயகம் பத்தி மக்களின் மன ஓட்டமே சேஞ்ச் ஆயிருக்கு. சிஸ்டமை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும். ஜனங்களுடைய மன ரீதியை வச்சு சிந்தனை ஓட்டத்தை சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும், ஒரு மாற்றத்தை உண்டாக்கணும். அப்போதான் நாடு உருப்படும். அது எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து பண்ண.
So, you know, that London has all of a sudden become a favored destination of everyone who's running away from Indian law enforcement agencies, whether it be Lalit Modi, whether it be Mallya, and this time around, Junior Chidambaram. Where has he gone? Why has he gone? Well, we were the only channel to speak to Mr. Reddy's family, Mr. Reddy being a very close associate of Karti Chidambaram, the man who has magically willed all his fortunes to Karti Chidambaram's daughter. Not all his fortunes, but majority of it, especially what he got from Advantage Inc. But the big question now is where and how has Karti Chidambaram gone? A day after CBI raids, a day before Enforcement Directorate went ahead and filed a case against him, this magical manner in which Karti Chidambaram suddenly seemed to have left along with his closest confidant to London has raised an eyebrow. Was he aware that this is going to happen? Did he foresee his possible arrest, and is that why he's gone? Well, people close to Chidambaram have been telling us that he goes to London quite often. He has multiple interests there. He has business there. He has friends there, and that's why he's gone, and he'll be back in 3 weeks.
आज मैं आम आदमी पार्टी के हर एक कार्यकर्ता से, आम आदमी पार्टी के हर एक विधायक से निवेदन करता हूं कि जो तथ्य मैं यहां रखने जा रहा हूं इसे बड़े ध्यान से देखना। इन्फोलेंस, स्काईलाइन मेटल, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसको भी ध्यान से देखिएगा। 5 अप्रैल 2014, सन विजर एजेंसीज 5 अप्रैल 2014, ये सबके, अभी एक सेकंड रुकिएगा यहीं पर ही, इन कंपनियों के एक ही तारीख को रात के 12 बजे एक साथ आम आदमी पार्टी के खाते में 50-50 लाख रुपए आते हैं। अब ये लेटर हेड है, जिस लेटर हेड पे ये सर्टिफाई किया गया कि इन कंपनियों ने 50 लाख रुपए दिए। सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं, आप लेटर हेड देख लो, 50 लाख रुपए देने वाली कंपनी का लेटर हेड देख लो। और इस लेटर हेड, ये सबके, अभी एक सेकंड रुकिएगा यहीं पर ही, इन कंपनियों के एक ही तारीख को रात के 12 बजे एक साथ आम आदमी पार्टी के खाते में 50-50 लाख रुपए आते हैं। अब ये लेटर हेड है, जिस लेटर हेड पे ये सर्टिफाई किया गया कि इन कंपनियों ने 50 लाख रुपए दिए। सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता हूं, आप लेटर हेड देख लो, 50 लाख रुपए देने वाली कंपनी का लेटर हेड देख लो, और इस लेटर हेड पे डेट देख लो, इस लेटर हेड पे रेफरेंस नंबर देख लो, और इस लेटर हेड को घर में बैठ के बनाया गया है कि कंपनी का लेटर हेड है, ये देख लो और सारे देश को आप दिखा दो। दूसरा लेटर हेड है इन्फोलेंस सॉफ्टवेयर सॉल्यूशन, दोबारा घर में बैठ के बनाया हुआ लेटर हेड, 50 लाख रुपए डोनेशन देने वाली कंपनी का लेटर हेड है ये। और इसमें अब ये तीसरा लेटर हेड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, सन विजन कंपनी, लेटर हेड ये भी घर में बना है, लेकिन इसमें मुकेश कुमार के साइन नहीं है। जो मुकेश कुमार बोल रहे थे कि उन्होंने पैसा दिया 50 लाख रुपए, ये साइन मुकेश कुमार का नहीं है सन विजन में, केवल 2 कंपनियों में मुकेश कुमार का साइन है। चौथा लेटर हेड मैं आपके सामने रखूंगा अभी, स्काईलाइन मेटल, इसमें भी मुकेश कुमार का साइन नहीं है। और इस लेटर हेड को आप बड़े ध्यान से देखना, क्योंकि ये लेटर हेड सबसे बड़े अपराध का आज पर्दाफाश करेगा, अरविंद केजरीवाल के काले धंधे का। इस लेटर हेड को आप अपने स्क्रीन पे संभाल के नोट करना, स्काईलाइन मेटल एंड अलॉयज, और नीचे जो साइन है उसको आप जरा ध्यान से नोट कर लेना। तो 4 कंपनियों ने 50 लाख रुपए दिए, केवल 2 कंपनियों के लेटर हेड पे मुकेश कुमार के साइन है, बाकी 2 पे मुकेश कुमार के साइन नहीं है। और क्यों नहीं है वो साइन, अभी मैं आपको वो तथ्य आपके सामने रखूंगा। ये जब आम आदमी पार्टी से पूछा गया कि 2 करोड़ रुपए कहां से आए, तो आम आदमी पार्टी ने इनकम टैक्स को बोला कि हमको नहीं मालूम ये 2 करोड़ रुपए कहां से आए। आज अरविंद केजरीवाल ने वीडियो किया है। अब मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल को चुनौती देता हूं, इनकम टैक्स का जवाब दे दो कि तुम्हें मालूम है 2 करोड़ रुपए कहां से आए, क्योंकि तुमने इनकम टैक्स को बोला था तुम्हें मालूम नहीं है। अब तुमने वीडियो ट्वीट किया है कि मुकेश कुमार ने 2 करोड़ रुपए दिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल, अगर तुम्हारे अंदर जरा सी भी आंखों की शर्म बची है, आज इनकम टैक्स को लिख के दे दो कि मुकेश कुमार की कंपनी से 2 करोड़ रुपए आए हैं। चुनौती देता हूं, इनकम टैक्स को आज बता दो कि 2 करोड़ रुपए मुकेश कुमार की कंपनी से आए हैं, क्योंकि तुमने इनकम टैक्स को बोला था कि तुम्हें नहीं मालूम 2 करोड़ रुपए कहां से आए हैं।
Superstar Rajinikanth addressed fans for the last day, hitting back at the comments against him that called him an outsider. The superstar said that the people of Tamil Nadu have made him who he is, and he is truly a Tamilian. Hinting at his political debut, Rajinikanth said that he cannot ignore the plight of people in the state and that the system needs to change. He lauded some very active politicians in Tamil Nadu and said they are all very capable, but what to do? Overall, the system is all corrupt, and it's the system that needs to be corrected. He talked about Jallikattu and Kabaddi and other sports, which he said were methods and arenas for people in regular walks of life who go about their business to come out and show their prowess and their ability and their vidyam, he said. And he said, the time will come. Right now, keep going about your job, but when the time comes, and then he left it there. Perhaps the biggest political hint that we could have got and from Rajinikanth. So he's taken forward what he started on day one of his interaction into the final day, further embellishing his political intent. केंद्र सरकार ने ऐसे कानून को मौजूदा तैयार किया है जिससे भगोड़े इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंडर्स अब बच नहीं पाएंगे। अब ऐसा है कि एक ड्राफ्ट लॉ बनाया गया है जिससे कि प्रॉपर्टीज जो हैं फ्यूजिटिव इकोनॉमिक ऑफेंडर्स की, उनको जब्त कर ली जाएंगी। अब इस ड्राफ्ट लॉ के तहत विजय माल्या जैसे मामलों से निपटने की दिशा में एक बहुत बड़ा स्टेप लिया गया है इस ड्राफ्ट लॉ के जरिए. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर गिवन टू अंडरस्टैंड. मेघा प्रसाद, गुड मॉर्निंग. What are the details of this draft law that's being unveiled by the centre?
Well, Anand, this one draft law that has been unveiled, I mean, you know, it seems to be very appropriate for the times that we are in right now, because you have instances like Vijay Mallya, you have instances like Lalit Modi and many more economic offences that have perhaps got the attention of the country in the past few years. And this comes up, it seems as if this law perhaps has been drafted keeping all of these offences in mind. The detail is such, and it's simple. It says not all economic offences, but those that are more than 100 crores and above. Only those economic offences, this draft law will come into effect in such cases. And the detail is that, the government will have the powers to instantly confiscate and take in possession any asset that belongs to a particular person or that company or whatever that organization is that is involved in economic offences. Right now, of course, the government has put this draft bill on the website. It has asked and seeking comments from people till about 3rd of June. Post which, of course, they will bring in this bill, they'll be tabling this bill and hoping that it is cleared in the next session of the parliament.
A CAG report has been tabled in the Uttar Pradesh Assembly which reveals how Akhilesh Yadav government spent a whopping 15 crore rupees on functions to distribute 20 crores as part of state's unemployment allowance scheme in the year 2012 and 2013. My colleague Amir is now joining me on the phone line. Amir, the CAG now coming down heavily on the Akhilesh Yadav government for splurging the state coffers.
Well, yes, absolutely. Although this is procedural, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India actually files a report every year on how the state exchequer's money has been spent by the government. But there are shocking details that have come out of how the Akhilesh government actually handled this money, which was to be distributed to beneficiaries by way of unemployment allowance, and also number of laptops numbering over 17 to 18 lakh laptops are also distributed by the government. But it is not actually the kind of money that was earmarked by the government to benefit these people, but the kind of money that was spent on, kind of popularizing, advertising all these government schemes, because Here, clearly, over rupees 15 crore has been spent on, benefit schemes which were only worth 20 crore. So, a major amount of money that came in that could have actually helped beneficiaries was actually spent and splurged on arranging huge functions. In fact, a number of hundreds of beneficiaries were actually escorted, were actually transported, brought down from villages, from block level areas, from within the district, and they were ferried to the district headquarters, wherein functions were organized, wherein Chief Minister would come and distribute checks to the beneficiaries. Ideally, all this could have been done. In fact, there are provisions to the effect that money to the beneficiaries could actually be directly transferred to their account. And that's what the scheme told officially about this kind of a government scheme.
Right.
But the Chief Minister, Akhilesh Yadav, actually chose to organize huge functions and then hand over the checks physically to those beneficiaries, so that all that spectacle was done before the media. And there were also reports, shocking reports that had come in, wherein girls and sometimes other students were, met with accidents, all kinds of unfortunate incidents, even incidents like rape and gold holders were reported when such students or beneficiaries were actually transported to the district headquarters for participating in such functions. So obviously, needless and useless kind of an expenditure was done for popularizing these government schemes. All this was actually avoidable, and that could have actually saved a lot of money of public exchequer.
Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain has filed criminal defamation case against sacked Delhi Minister Kapil Mishra and Manjinder Sirsa in the Tees Hazari Court in New Delhi. My colleague Sherin is now joining me on the phone line. Sherin, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi government going after the sacked minister, now filing a criminal defamation case.
Well, that is right, and it was in fact highlighted around 2 weeks back when the first time Kapil Mishra raised some serious allegation against Arvind Kejriwal and Satyendra Jain, saying that they are involved in Hawala money and laundering, and that is when Satyendra Jain in fact gave a hint that he will go ahead and file a defamation case against Kapil Mishra. Now, Manjinder Singh Sirsa has also met LG, saying that Satyendra Jain, who is the health minister, also the power minister, should be suspended and he should be removed from his post, and a clean probe should take place. So that is the reason why we are seeing the health minister, who is completely on the back foot, has filed a defamation case in Tees Hazari case and has been saying that he won't back out till the time both Kapil Mishra and Manjinder Singh are punished for what they have been raising throughout on the public domain.
Another Hawala operator named Babubhai Lalit has been nabbed from Delhi in connection with the AIADMK party symbol bribery case. The Hawala operator allegedly paid 1 crore rupees to Sukesh Chandrasekhar, the alleged middleman in the case. I have my colleague Priyank now joining me with the details.
Delhi Police Crime Branch is probing the role of Hawala operators to whom the money was transferred to Sukesh Chandrasekhar, one of the middlemen who was in touch with TTV Dinakar and Mallikarjun. What we learned from a source in Delhi Police that yesterday Babu was arrested by the Delhi Police Crime Branch from Delhi only, and Delhi Police have already taken police custody of Babu. It is very important to see, important for the Delhi Police officers to establish the money trails through which the money was given into the hands of Sukesh Chandrasekhar by TTV Dinakar. Last week, Delhi Police Crime Branch also apprehended one suspect whose name is Prakash. Prakash is resident of Bangalore, and Mallikarjun also called him to arrange the cash 2 crore rupee amount so that the 2D symbol can go in favor of TTV Dinakar. So the probe is progressing. What we know that the court has also allowed Delhi Police to take audio sample of TTV Dinakar and Mallikarjun so that their roles and their active involvement can also be established as a major evidence in this case. Back to you.